guys, welcome back to my channel and happy Tuesday. It has been a really long time since I have said happy Tuesday, and I'm really curious to know how many of you have been with me since I used to post videos on Tuesdays. So if you were here watching my videos when my YouTube schedule was on Tuesdays only, I would love for you to comment, leave a smiley face and write Tuesday, because it would be really interesting to see how many people have been here with me basically since I started this channel. But yes, it is Tuesday and I have a really special video for you guys today. I'm actually doing a collaboration with the lovely Kim Chance. Kim is a fellow young adult author. She is one of the sweetest, most down-to-earth people I have ever met, and her book Keeper is coming out next year in January. And it is available for pre-order right now, so I will leave the link down below, so make sure you go check that out and support her. Now, I can't believe it has taken this long for Kim and I to do a collab, because again, she is just one of the sweetest people, and I feel like she and I just really vibe. We have very similar mindsets. We're very positive people, so I can't believe it's taken us this long to actually put together a collab. But she and I got to talking, and we actually thought it would be really insightful if we did a collaboration on the differences between traditional publishing and self-publishing. So if you don't already know, Kim is signed with a literary agent and a publishing house. So her book is being traditionally published in January of next year. And then I am self-published. So I have self-published all of my books. So we got to talking and we were like, what if we were to come up with a set of questions, and we actually came up with 8 questions, where she could answer from the point of view of someone who is going the traditional publishing route, and I could answer the questions from the perspective of someone who is self-publishing. That is what this collab is going to be today. I'm super excited about it. Kim is going to answer these questions from a traditional publishing perspective, and I will do it from a self-publishing perspective. So again, I'll make sure to leave the link to Kim's video in the description box below. So once you are done watching mine, make sure to head on over and watch hers. And it's going to be really interesting because we actually decided not to share answers before our videos went live. So I feel like we're gonna kind of surprise each other and see what each other's answers are. Okay, so question number 1 is, what went into your decision to self-publish? I feel like we're starting off with a loaded question. So for those that don't know, I originally wanted to traditionally publish my debut novel, The Alpha Drive. And in 2014 to early 2015, I started querying literary agents. I queried 19 to be exact. And out of those 19, 18 of them sent back a form rejection letter. Ouch. So there was one agent that I was working with for a little bit. She'd asked for a partial of my manuscript. I sent that over to her. She read through the chapters, and we kind of got to chatting about what the series would be about. And I had a very different vision, something that wasn't so mainstream for the series, for the Alpha Drive trilogy, and she kind of had a different, more mainstream approach. And so we ended up kind of mutually passing on one another. This was also at the time that the market was seriously oversaturated with YA dystopian novels. So I was just being told over and over again that it would be really hard to sell my book to a publisher because the market was so oversaturated with those types of stories. But I'm one of those people that doesn't take no for an answer. So that's really when I decided to look into self-publishing seriously and do a lot of research. And I actually really liked what I learned, and I was really impressed by just a lot of the different pieces that go into self-publishing. And it was something I thought, you know what? If I really put my all into this, I think I can do it. I think I can self-publish my books. So fast forward to now, 2.5 years later, I am sitting here with 4 books published, and all of them have been on the Amazon bestsellers list. So I'm really happy with my choice to self-publish. Question number 2, what do you think is the biggest difference between traditional and self-publishing, and why? I will be very interested to hear Kim's answer to this one, but I think the biggest difference, and it's hard to say because again, I've only done one of the routes. I've only self-published, I've never traditionally published. But if I had to say what I think the biggest difference would be, it's probably the kind of support system and the team that you have when you are traditionally published. So, I mean, self-publishing, it's in the name, self-publish. You're doing everything yourself. So you're the one vetting editors, formatters, cover designers. You're the one essentially creating your team of people to get this book out there. And I may be wrong, but with traditional publishing, I believe you have this kind of support system and this team already in place. You have the cover designer that the publisher uses, as well as the formatter, the editor, all that good stuff. So I feel like the biggest difference is probably the support system and kind of the lack of support, if you will, when you decide to self-publish. Question number 3, what is the most rewarding part of self-publishing? So I think the most rewarding part of self-publishing, at least for me, is when I'm actually holding the final version of my book in my hands and knowing that I have touched every single piece of that book, everything that went into it, my hands were on it. So between the final decision or the final say in the cover design, in the formatting, as someone who is self-published, you have a say in everything. You pretty much have full creative control. And so I think the most rewarding part of self-publishing is when you're finally holding that book in your hands and just knowing that you are the final decision maker for every piece of that book. Question number 4, what is the most challenging part of self-publishing? So it's kind of funny because I feel like the most rewarding part, what I just said, is actually also the most challenging part of self-publishing. So while it is super rewarding to hold that book in your hands and know that you've touched every piece of it, the most challenging part is being the final decision maker, being the one who has to go out and do everything for your book to make sure it is ready for publication and that it's ready to go into print. So the most rewarding part of self-publishing is that you do it all, and the most challenging part of self-publishing is that you do it all, because you are the final decision maker on the editing, on the formatting, on the cover design, on the back cover blurb, and on the story itself. Question number 5 is, what is the most surprising thing about self-publishing? And my answer for this question is not so much about the self-publishing process itself, but how self-publishing has come to be viewed over the past couple of years. When I first started, I feel like self-publishing was still really taboo, and I felt like it really had this negative stigma attached to it. And as I've been going along this journey, I'm finding that more and more people want to self-publish. They want to try it. They don't see it as a bad thing. They see it as this really exciting, fun new adventure. You have more people who are buying and reading indie books. So I think the most surprising thing about self-publishing is that there are so many indie authors out there who have made it and who have hit bestsellers lists and who are successful, and that finally I feel like people are able to look at self-publishing as a legitimate career. This is something that you can really do and make a living off of your passion, and that is just the coolest thing. Whereas I feel like 2 years ago that wasn't really the case. It was still, again, it was still very taboo. So I think the most surprising thing about self-publishing is the fact that it's just more accepted and it's actually seen as a viable path in becoming an author. Question number 6 is, do you ever plan to use the other route, i.e. the one you're currently not using? So this question for me would be, do I ever plan to traditionally publish? And I wouldn't necessarily say that I have plans to traditionally publish and to query agents, but I'm certainly not closed off to it. So I'm definitely open to the idea. And I actually think it would be really fun to work with an agent and a publishing house and to have that sort of team that I've had to kind of create myself. I think it would be really cool to see that side of things, because I would be more of a hybrid author at that point, and I feel like I'd be able to truly share my perspectives about both sides, whereas right now I can only share my perspective on self-publishing because it's all I've ever done. Question number 7 is, what are 3 pieces of advice you would give someone who is going down the self-publishing path? My first piece of advice for an aspiring author who is going down the self-publishing path is to do your research and set yourself up for success. So there are a lot of pieces, a lot of moving pieces that go into self-publishing. And so you really have to take the time to do your research, whether that's watching YouTube videos, whether that is reading books on self-publishing, reading blog articles and blog posts, reaching out to other authors who have done what you want to do and getting their advice and using them as a mentor, or hiring a writing coach, which, little self-promo in here, I'm going to be launching a coaching program for writers called Valiance in January of 2018. You can find the link in the description box below if you want to go check out this site and read more about that. But it is so critical to do your research ahead of time, because it's going to save you a lot of headache and it's going to help you avoid a lot of costly mistakes. Because self-publishing is not only complex, it is also expensive. And so you want to avoid as many mistakes as possible. And the way to do that is to listen to or talk to people who have already done what you want to do. My second piece of advice is to outsource what needs to be outsourced. So as a self-publisher, you're doing everything on your own. So if there are certain things that can be outsourced that aren't going to break the bank, then it should be outsourced. So I outsource my editor, and I also outsource my cover design. I do not outsource my formatting. I do the formatting myself because it's something I figured out how to do. I like the way my formatting looks, so I'm like, why would I pay someone to do this when I feel like I'm I'm doing it and I like the way I do it. But with things like editing and cover design, it's really important for editing to have kind of someone who's removed from your story really look at it, because they'll be able to identify any plot holes or things that need to be fixed. And as far as the cover design goes, that is the first thing that your potential readers are going to see. So I always say, do not skimp on your cover. Find a professional cover designer, spend the money on it, because you wrote this amazing story and you want to give your story the cover it deserves. So don't go into Paint, if Paint is even a software program anymore, or go into PowerPoint and try to create your own cover. Do your story justice and give it the cover it deserves. And my third and final tip is to start building your author platform in advance. And I would say at least 8 months ahead of time before you plan on publishing your book. If you can do it earlier than that, great. So that is truly the one regret that I have, is not starting my whole journey and building my platform earlier, because I think about just all those years I wasted thinking about it and not actually truly acting on it. So if you're in that stage right now where you're trying to figure out like, oh, I think I want to self-publish a book, it's something I really want to do, but I don't know when I want to do it, and you're just, you know, you're kind of in that overthinking phase where you're just really not sure, I would say to go ahead and just start building your author platform. Start a blog if you want to do that. Start creating videos for a YouTube channel if that's more up your alley, because worst case scenario, you can start building your author platform, and then if you realize it's not something you truly want to do and you don't really want to write and publish a book, you can always take down your author website. You can always take down your YouTube channel. You can always take these things down if it's really not something you want to do. But I would say getting started ahead of time is only going to make your journey so much smoother. Okay, and the last question for this collab, number 8, is knowing what you know now, would you do anything different on your journey to self-publish? So I kind of just answered this in the fact that I wish I had started my author platform and started this whole journey earlier. But other than that, I would say, knowing what I know now, I would have been more fearless in all of my decisions. Self-publishing is surely not for the faint of heart. You have to be really courageous, you have to be really brave, and you do have to have thick skin, or at least grow some thick skin, because there are going to be people out there that are going to try to tear you down, that are going to hate your book, that are going to write bad reviews, that are going to send you hate mail, hate emails. And so I've just learned that every decision I make when it comes to self-publishing and my books and this business and my brand that I've built is that I have to be absolutely fearless. I cannot live in a fear-based world. If I want to do something, I have to know that it's going to work out and that I'm going to make it happen no matter what. So it's having this inner sense of faith and of certainty, just knowing that everything's going to work out, that this is what you're meant to do, that this is your true purpose, this is your calling, and that when you are aligned with your truth and the things that you were supposed to be doing, that the universe is going to answer in your favor and it's going to support you. So yes, be fearless in all of your decisions, take control of your destiny, because you are in full control of it. You make the decisions, you call the shots. So if you want to write a book and self-publish and become a best-selling author, you can do it and you will do it. You just have to make the decision to try. Okay, so that is it. Those are the answers to the questions for this YouTube collaboration with the lovely Kim Chance. Again, I will leave all of her information, her video link, as well as the link to go pre-order her book, Keeper, which again comes out in January of next year. So make sure you check all that out. Make sure you go watch her videos, subscribe to her channel. She's seriously such a gem. You guys will get so much insight and so much information from her. So make sure you go support her. If you like the content today, I would love for you to give this video a thumbs up to support my channel, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos. All of my Amazon best-selling books, The Alpha Drive, The Order of Omega, Restitution, and my newest book, Shadow Crown, are available for purchase on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, as well as the Book Depository and Books A Million. You can also order autographed copies of all of my books. For more information on how to get your hands on autographed copies, please go to my website at KristenMartinBooks.com and click on the Buy Books tab on the menu bar. If you are a fan of audiobooks, make sure to check out my affiliate link with Audible listed in the description box below. You will get a free audiobook download and a free 30-day trial for their service. Who doesn't love free stuff? So make sure you go check them out. As I mentioned earlier in this video, I am launching a brand new program. It is a coaching program for writers called Valiance next year on January 15th. It is a self-study program that is broken out into 6 extensive modules detailing the exact strategies I use to plan, outline, write, edit, publish, and market my books. Each module includes an introductory video, detailed fillable workbooks, checklists, cheat sheets, guides, and so much more, as well as technical system tutorials. You'll also get access to a a private Facebook group of like-minded writers where you can share your writing journey, ask questions, and share your struggles and wins along the way. For more information on Valiance, make sure to check out the description box below and click on the link. You can get more information on each specific module, the packages, and pricing. There is a freebie up on my other website at thatsmarthustle.com called 5 action steps you can take right now to start showing up for your dreams. And if you benefit from that guide, you will absolutely love my mini webinar series called Hustle Smarter, Not Harder. It's a 1 hour long webinar with an accompanying workbook that was created to help you in cultivating your dream life and get you where you want to be faster. To learn more, read testimonials, and sign up, go to thatsmarthustle.com and click on the webinars tab on the menu bar. And if you can't get enough of the girl boss vibes, make sure to check out my podcast on iTunes and SoundCloud. It's under the name That Smart Hustle. I am so excited to be attending BookCon again next year on June 2nd and June 3rd in New York City. I will have a booth number 1242 where I'll be selling and signing copies of all of my books, so I really hope I get to meet all of you. And if you're not already following me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, make sure you do that for daily writing inspiration and advice, as well as to stay up to date on any price promotions, announcements, or giveaways that might be going on. If you have any questions or think of a topic for one of my next videos, please leave it in the comments down below. Again, thank you so much for watching. I would love for you to hit that subscribe button on your way out. Don't forget I post new writing advice videos on Mondays and personal day in the life vlogs on Thursdays. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Miss out on any future ad videos. Any future ad videos? What?